All right, bro. I'm ready when you are. Oh
Great.
shoot, you already had it ready.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Trace. Dose.
Welcome to Crosstown Cardboard episode 62 with myself, Carmine at Carmine's Cards, also known in my own personal phone as Little Larry Legend. That's a little known fact. I wanted to be like Larry Bird growing up. I'm wearing the Larry Bird night shirt. We're going to talk about a Larry Bird card. But he's not the real co-host. My guy Craig at New York City Sports Cards. He's the co-host. He's from the opposite side of New York City than me. Craig, Long Island, myself, Westchester County, New York. We're going to talk about some Knicks cards as well. But it's the Thanksgiving episode, and we're dropping this one day before the big feast, which hopefully everybody's spending with friends, family, loved ones. Just a great time, chowing down, football, naps, everything's great. And we're being thankful for the Thanksgiving episode, calling this Thanks, Cards, as Craig said, because grammar, which is ironic because I don't think that's grammatically correct. But Craig, before I go too far down the side paths, let's keep it on the main thing. Thanks Cards. Can you explain how that came up for you as a title?
So if you are on the hobby Instagram, you have seen people at shows, and maybe after the shows they go out for a nice steak dinner. And you will often see people take a picture of that dinner and write an Instagram story caption, "Thank you cards." And let's be honest, that's super corny. I think we could agree. So that's why maybe it's a little hypocritical for us to call this thanks cards, but I just shortened it. I could be corny too. So thanks cards. But in all seriousness, it is the Thanksgiving episode. Last year, the episode title was what we're thankful for. And I think what we'll do today is kind of just talk about the things that we've been doing every week in the hobby, like we always do, and how that ties into things within the hobby that we're thankful for, just like the time that we get to spend together every week, as you just alluded to.
Yes, man, this is a loquacious podcast. I just want to pat ourselves on the back. I'm thankful for myself and yourself. I know, mind blown if you're watching on the YouTube here. So, all right, Craig, let's start it off. And I'm interested actually to maybe go back and re-listen to what are we thankful for in cards from 1 year ago to now. Thanks cards. I mean, just in the two titles, we're snappier. We don't waste people's time. We get right into it. And it would be interesting to see our progression though from last year.
Now that you mentioned that, I didn't even think about it. When this episode airs, I will have to listen to last year's first and then this one. And luckily,
Right.
luckily, this episode will air on Wednesday, and I will be flying to Denver for my Thanksgiving to see my in-laws. So you already know a Denver card shop tour part 2 is going down.
Wow. That is just great planning. I mean, we talked about you seeking out these card shops, LCS, as we so clearly defined recently, the local card shop with a homier feel to it. So I'm excited to hear those stories from that Denver trip and to see the family. So let's talk about your recent moves, and I believe starting off with a Bleecker trade night. That's always a good start.
So I'm very thankful for Bleecker Trading. And right next door to them is Cards and Coffee as well. Just a lot of friends and acquaintances within the hobby that I see quite often around the New York scene. So the trade night is just such a good time. It happened to be so nice out. So I had soccer practice while I was doing parent-teacher conferences. So it was a busy day for me, a little multitasking going on. So I celebrated by going to Bleecker Trade Night, hung out with some friends, ate some incredible pizza, and got to watch some soccer, some football, look at cards, talk cards. It's the perfect evening. It's an escape, right? At the end of the day, it's an escape when you get to be around this hobby. So that's what going to Bleecker Trade Night's like for me. I have fun, talk to a lot of people, and we're just around this hobby that we love.
And you said, thanks cards is not just the physical cards, it's everything surrounding cards, the people, the places, and the connections and everything like that. And you said something else we should be thankful for. A few people mentioned our podcast at the trade night to you.
Yeah, and a common conversation that I have with people when they ask about it is it leads to me just saying, well, yeah, Carmine and I are just great friends at this point, so it's pretty easy to just hop on and have a weekly catch up with one of your good friends, and then you happen to talk cards about it. Someone said, "Oh, and you and Carmine are good friends." I said, "Well, now we are, as a result of this, after 62 episodes."
Right. I mean, if you look back on the "What Are We Thankful For" episode, you'll see we were going at it. We were, really at a different. No, just kidding. No, but you're right. This really has brought us closer together. Definitely a big element that I'm thankful for in the hobby is our friendship and our podcast, and it's just great. I never expected for our friendship to be actually this good when we started, but we're talking for 20 minutes before recording and whatever, shooting the breeze, and no, it's just great.
All because of one deal on Facebook a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But we are thankful for the actual physical cards themselves.
Oh yeah.
For example, my first move at Bleecker Trade Night was Jake. So Jake has been part of the Bleecker family since day one. He's also become a good friend of mine in this hobby. You know Jake, you've seen him before.
Yeah. Gave me a free hat at the National. I was hyped. I told you I wanted one of those hats. Yes, they're good looking. You know what? While you keep going, I'm going to grab the hat.
Okay. And when you talk, I'm going to grab my hat.
Okay.
You can hear me though, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Jake had texted me because I told him that we were going to Culture Collision in Atlanta, which table confirmed, by the way, me, you, sports card lessons, Culture Collision, January. So I told you a couple episodes ago, I had gotten that Michael Vick 2005 Turkey Red, the wood, the 101.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Before we hit Culture Collision in Atlanta, you thought that was a good buy with the Atlanta Falcons.
Sounded like a great move. And why I'm thankful for the cards themselves is not only was it a cool card, but it was from 2005 Turkey Red. And I have vivid memories in 2005 in Target opening packs of Turkey Red. So that's one thing that I'm very seriously, I didn't even plan to say this, but thankful about the actual cards themselves. It helps you jog your memory as you get older.
Here's the design of what Craig was talking about with that year, the Turkey Red.
Yeah, Turkey Red's a classic. There was a baseball, basketball, and football they had a set. I remember opening 2006, 2007 Turkey Red, the J.J. Redick year, the Adam Morrison year. So that was a fun draft class. But Jake texted me. He said, "Bring your Michael Vick Wood 1/1 card to trade night tonight." I didn't think anything of it. In my head, Bleecker was going to be setting up in Culture Collision. Maybe they just wanted some Atlanta cards, and they wanted it for their booth. Anyway, I show up to Bleecker Trade Night after practice, and Jake says, "Yeah, I got a friend here who is looking for a Michael Vick card." And I brought the wood card with me because he told me to. And then someone else said, "Oh yeah, that guy has been running around looking specifically for a Michael Vick card."
Okay. But that's still an interesting one to choose of all the Michael Vick cards.
Well, no. Yeah. No, people didn't have. It's not, you go to a trade night, most people don't just have Michael Vick cards.
True. Yeah. I have, what's funny? I have a Michael Vick card, but even if you're interested in Michael Vick cards, like that would be an interesting one. It's a niche,
very niche
item, with the wood, and I'm glad he was interested in that specific card.
And the wood was a 101 from 05 Turkey Red, if we didn't say that already.
How cool would it be if I got a Larry Bird of that? That would be cool. That would be a unique card. But here's the Mike Vick. This is actually a rookie auto that I have. I
like that.
It's clean. Pop 10.
Yeah. But I had paid. Do you remember what I paid for the Vick?
$250.
Very good. You're so sharp. You remember. And Jake said, "I know my buddy who's interested. What are you looking for?" I said, "Well, $350 was the number I threw out there." Jake walks into the front, walks back 30 seconds. Done.
So that's some G shit.
That's Jake. What I'm saying, bro. Jake really
was there like a beaded curtain that he went through to make the deal and then come back?
If you understand the new setup of Bleecker where there's a storefront in the front, then kind of yes. But I hadn't even met this guy yet, and then next thing you know, I'm shooting the shit with him out front. Adam was his name, good dude, and he likes Michael Vick because Michael Vick's now on the new Madden cover. He was on the 04 Madden cover, and this guy just happened to like playing with Vick, and got the cash, shook hands, made a quick 40% profit on that card, and it went to a Vick collector. So a fun story to tell. I make a little money. A collector gets their card. I'm thankful for interactions like that.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well said. And also, who didn't love playing with Michael Vick in the Maddens? Are you kidding me with this guy? You run all the way back down to the goal line. You're going back and forth. Nobody can catch you. And then you make like a 90-yard run that's actually like a 25-yard run because of how far back ran. But
Cheat code.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Great career. I always wonder, without the dog fighting, what would have happened, where he would be all time, because that obviously, got in the way of that, but so exciting no matter what, whew, boy. So that's cool. I think Mike Vick is a cool guy to collect, as far as a one-of-one guy, a one-of-one card.
Yeah. So it's like the thought was bring that card to Atlanta where an Atlanta fan will like that, but why wait? If you could sell if I never intended to keep it and I was going to sell it anyway, why wait? Make the sale, move on.
No. You know what my dad always says? A fast nickel is better than a slow dime.
I like that.
That's from a 76-year-old New Yorker.
Tony Gwynn.
Tony Gwynn.
There he is again.
Oh, thanks, cards.
Because I want to have money to buy cards. So I picked up this one. Did you see this baseball card that I picked up?
I'm not sure. Let me see it.
So I sold the 101, and then I was outside hanging with some buddies, Al, NYC Hoops Collector, who ended up driving me home. Shout out to Al.
Yeah.
We were hanging outside, and I saw this card on the table, and it just caught my eye. So I sold the 101. So I figured, well, I might as well buy a 101.
Oh.
2003 Leaf Limited, which was one of my favorite eras, like that first few years of baseball products.
Yeah.
Monikers is like the set. Authentic game-worn Jersey Prime. One of one.
How many names does this card have? The freaking suspense, bro. Show me the card.
I'm trying to describe it as best I can before you see it. But who had the famous point? I never did steroids, period.
The famous point?
Yes. If you know, you know.
I'm not sure.
Rafael Palmeiro.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I remember that.
So I don't know. This one just caught my eye. It was a 101. It's from a set I really liked. I don't know if it's a Jersey Prime, but there seems to be a little bit of writing on that jersey.
Yeah.
I just think it's super unique. It's a 101, which you don't see a lot of, from 2003. So yeah, picked this up for $60. I thought it was a cool one to have.
Great hitter, right? Oh, he had the point when he was presenting his case in the courtroom, right?
That's what it is.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Now I remember the scene you're talking about. When you say point, I'm thinking Babe Ruth, calling his shot. Yeah. But yes, that dramatic presentation of his case about not using steroids.
Yeah. So this was the kind of card that I bought not really for the player. It was just like the year and the style and the memories from growing up that hit me. So yeah, that was that.
So how much did you pay for that?
$60.
Wow, that's not bad at all.
Why not? I had a little money burning a hole in my pocket. Figure I'd have a little fun. So I sold a card. I bought a card. And I also traded for a card.
Wow. Did he was he actually, he didn't use steroids, or he did?
I'm not quite sure. I guess
okay. We'll have to have
I guess that's for the court system to decide.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there must be some, we don't have the current research, but what a player, though. I'm looking up his MLB reference. 2-time Silver Slugger, 3-time Gold Glove, 4-time All-Star. That's pretty cool. Yeah, and a one of one, $60. That's a good price.
I'm out the baseball card collecting game, and that doesn't change the past, where that was like the foundation of where my collecting started. 1990, let's say 7 through 2008 was I was pretty heavy on baseball.
And the Yankees were, I mean,
well, this is an Orioles card, but regardless.
No, I know, but I'm saying the kids like growing up in New York during the Yankees time. During the Derek Jeter, Rivera, Posada, Giambi, A-Rod, Teixeira, that whole thing.
Yep.
Ooh, that was a baseball. I mean, that would get you definitely more interested in it. But that's a cool little swap. And you bought. I mean, you didn't even spend any card money. You spent profit money.
There you go.
You're already in the green.
Well, the vibes at trade night are just the best, and I'm thankful for trade nights in general. I know their ability to have it at Bleecker is different because it's on a New York City block. There's a backyard in the back of the store, but the vibes are that's where the hobby is fun for me. That's what I'm thankful for, because it's an escape. Just like you said, us recording is an escape.
Right. No, it really is. Takes you to a place of, childlike joy, innocent fun, friendships. Super.
Facts.
So speaking of youth, I have continued my collegiate collection with Brian Dawkins. And if you're watching in the Crosstown Cardboard YouTube, you'll see that I have started up the rainbow. I have 4 Brian Dawkins cards from Clemson, of course, the hard-hitting safety, later going on to play for our cousin's favorite team, the Philadelphia Eagles, Cousin Oz and Cousin Tony, shout out. So I got 4 of these so far, and I got the silver, purple, red, and blue, all in the Clemson uniform. Different serial numbers, but anyway, I started up that collection, got a good amount from eBay, and so Craig, Craig just went and got his hat. Let's see it. How does it look?
Check out the new design. This is cool. The little diamonds from Bleecker. Not sponsored. I love the people there, and I love the brand.
Yeah, not sponsored. But I mean, we definitely, as the kids say, we ship what they do there. We ship it.
Right.
But
so
we got our,
you're having fun trying to build that rainbow.
Yes. So I got the Brian Dawkins rainbow started. I've never collected a rainbow before, but I will say, after looking at it and accumulating all these different colors of the same exact photo, the Prism Brian Dawkins card, it's kind of cool getting the rainbow. It feels like a goal-oriented thing that you can physically see with the different colors, as simple as it sounds. But yeah, so anyway, so I got that going. So I got 4 of them. And I wanted to share a quick story from when I won my first Brian Dawkins card, which we talked about on the podcast, when I was in the Clemson student section during their win over Notre Dame, a ranked opponent, which they also beat North Carolina, another ranked team, tonight. So go Clemson, for the local sports reporter here in Greenville, South Carolina. So anyway, while I was at that game, Clemson Notre Dame, I got this $2 bill with a Irish shamrock printed on it, which you'll see on the YouTube. Now, the reason why that's significant is because there's a Clemson tradition where they stamp $2 bills with a orange Clemson tiger paw. And so they walk around wherever away game they're attending. They pay for things using the tiger paw stamped Clemson $2 bill. And so they basically are spreading the word about Clemson in a unique way with the $2 bill with the tiger paw in every away arena or every away stadium that they play in for football games. And I assume other sporting events too. So that's just like a unique tradition with Clemson. So anyway, this Notre Dame fan was walking next to me on the street, and he's like, "Hey, I got this $2 bill with the shamrock because when you guys played at Notre Dame, people who were Clemson fans were paying with the tiger stamped $2 bill, and so I wanted to return the favor when I came to your guys' place." And I was like, "Dude, that's awesome." So he just handed me a $2 bill with a Irish shamrock on it for Notre Dame. And I'm like, what a thoughtful gesture. Like, what a nice camaraderie between the college football programs and traditions.
Wow.
So,
yeah. Nice story.
Yeah, right?
Nice people over at Notre Dame, huh?
Yeah, the Irish. I'm a little bit Irish. Maybe he detected that. He's like, here's an Irishman.
That's what it was. Irish vibes. You give Irish vibes a little bit, I guess.
What is that?
I don't know. Vibes that you might be Irish.
Oh, okay. Oh, Irish vibes. Okay. I thought you said Irish fives. I thought that was a special handshake.
Might
and
be.
All I know is the Irish goodbye. I mean, but usually I try to have a higher character and shake people's hand, look them in the eye. Thanks for having me. Do it the right way. But so the Irish, nice gesture, but that ties into when I started my Brian Dawkins collection. I figured I'd just share that, cool little sports story there.
Yeah, and you're going for the rainbow. Listen, I got to be honest.
There's a lot of cards in that rainbow.
My transition game lately, I think, has been pretty solid. Speaking of rainbow.
Okay, but you can't. Well, your transition is great. No, just going with the last word of the last sentence and then going right into the first word of the next sentence.
You're trying to build a rainbow, which is all the color parallels of a card. So I'm saying, speaking of rainbows, what's one of you and I's favorite parallels?
The tie-dye.
Come on, that works. That fits.
Yes.
Okay. I own. You have a tie-dye on you?
By the way, Joe Burrow. I got the tie-dye select rookie out of 25, Joe Burrow. And then he's out for the season, bro.
Oh, yeah. Tough.
Yeah,
Tough.
yeah.
You're going to have to hold on to that one.
Yeah, that'd be okay. It's a cool card.
You know what? Let's remember the theme of the episode, thankful. Why am I so thankful for this rainbow parallel? That sounds so corny to say, but it's because it looks good, it's limited, and I like the continuity. You see tie-dye, except for I guess it's not totally consistent, but at least throughout basketball products, tie-dye out of 25.
Yeah. No, the consistent numbering is key. Yeah.
Football, the same thing. I think it's soccer that is different. I already own the 2015 Giannis tie-dye PSA 10, the die cut. Really nice.
Wow, a die cut to get that 10. That's impressive.
That's what I'm saying. So the 2015 Giannis die cut tie-dye parallel and a PSA 10 out of 25.
Is that a pop one? What's the pop on that? Do you know?
It's low. It's like less than 5. I saw this on someone's Instagram story. I don't have the exact copy of the card, but here is the same card. It's the 2018 Panini Select die cut. Let's see if the camera picks that up.
That could be an interesting rainbow to collect. I mean, not a rainbow, but the same tie-dye every year. That's cool.
So also, I showed you the picture on YouTube of the PSA 8, but here's a one on eBay. It's the PSA 10. So I have the 2015, this new card that I came across with the 2018 Panini Select Giannis die cut tie-dye in a PSA 10. I thought the price was incredible. Okay. I made a play on it with SJ.cards. And we had a really nice back and forth, just talking, shooting the shit, trying to make a deal. And we agreed at a price of, what do you think that would cost? The 2018 Select die cut tie-dye PSA 10. Very obscure card, but take a guess.
$350.
Okay. We settled at $190.
Okay.
Which felt really good if you look at other comps, but it's not even to flip. I like the card.
Right.
I said, would it be okay if I paid PayPal goods since it's our first deal? And he said, to be honest, I would like to net $150. So if you can cover fees, that's fine. I would also ship first if you're hesitant to do friends and family. So you can send friends and family once it arrives. You seem legit, so I'm fine doing that. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of trust for someone to be willing to do that to me.
Right.
And I said, I'm like, if you're really okay with that, then it's a deal at $190 friends and family. I will send it if you ship it. Like, I want a nickel and dime someone over $5, but if he's offering, why not?
Right. And also, speaking of rainbows, going back to that, you connect the rainbow from his offering the trust to you receiving the trust and having everything work out and building trust in the hobby too. Plus, between you two guys, I have never heard of that on a first deal. I mean, maybe
that's
down the road,
That's what I'm saying. So, but I think the reason being is, and here obviously already trust me at this point, but I said, I'm like, listen, I have a sports card podcast. I run an after school card club for my students. I am trustworthy. And he says, yeah, I saw the teacher stuff in your bio. I'm like, I could trust this guy. So that was the deal.
Wow. Yeah. Trustworthy guy. I like that our sports card podcast provides you credibility just in case.
Right. So now I have the 2015 Giannis tie-dye die cut select PSA 10, and I have the 2018. It would be a very interesting and aesthetically pleasing rainbow of rainbows to build.
Oh shoot, a rainbow of rainbow.
Well, it's not a rainbow. Sorry, it's not a rainbow. It's like the
tie-dye has rainbow colors. I'm with you. I'm with you.
What do you call that though? Like the every year, the year over year, like the Prism run. Like so, if someone wants all the golds, like the Prism run.
It's there has to be a word out there for it, like a straight or a flush. In poker.
Yes, like poker. Okay.
You know what I mean? We have to have some type of. I guess it would have to. I guess it would have to be a flush, right?
It would have to be
because that's the same. That's the same suit, isn't it?
I think we're onto something because if you're getting every year in a row, and you're getting the same card like the tie-dye, that's the equivalent in poker to a straight flush.
Wow, which sounds like the name of a future episode.
That was so good. That is content.
I feel like that's content.
We're building the straight flush. I mean, I'm sure there's another term for it, but I'm going with this one.
I like that. We are breaking down barriers here on Crosstown Cardboard. I mean, this is pretty pretty fun stuff. So
I'm thankful for that kind of trust in the hobby. I'm also thankful for being an educator because obviously that allows people to trust me.
yeah, you're a trustworthy guy.
Thanks, man. So yeah, that was
Mhm.
fun. That was a fun deal for a card I actually really like. And at the end of the day, if I'm buying cards that are to keep and to like build off of, then that's the type of cards that I like to pick up and acquire and keep.
Right. And that makes me think of another future topic, like flipping. I mean, we've talked about it somewhat, but flipping to fund your PC, basically.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
that's a cool situation for you. How much did you pay for the 2015 die cut?
It was a trade. It was for 2 Giannis's, maybe a little cash, and I think at the time I want to say that value was around 600, which probably isn't really that far off. But
Wow, yeah.
I mean, it was so long ago.
I thought 350, would be reasonable. So that's right in the middle of basically what you got each one for.
It was long enough ago where for the 2015 that it just feels like a sunk cost at this point. So like,
right,
it happened in the past. Now I just have the card.
I like the unique element of considering going with that straight flush with all the die cut tie dyes of Giannis year over year, because
Yeah, and in a PSA 10.
in a 10, so you got 3 limiting factors there, on an all-time great player. You got the PSA 10, that's a limiter, the die cut, that's a limiter, and out of 25 with the tie dye. So you got 3 layers of coolness, I think. Plus they're cool visually, to match the tie dye with the die cut. It's it's a double dye.
And as long as he's still playing in the league, I will always love Giannis as a player and as a guy whose cards I want to collect. And to answer your original question, the 2018 is a pop 4. The 2015 that I have is loading right now, and it's also a pop 4.
Nice. Okay.
Cool. Good to know.
That's great. They're both pop 4s. Not the same serial number, though. We covered that in the last episode.
I actually cannot confirm or deny that.
Can you look that up real quick?
I won't be able to. Not until it arrives, but
we'll have to
be wild.
We'll have to check, because
if that happens, that's an emergency pod.
We just send out like the emergency contact on the iPhone. Like,
we'll go live. People, I just got.
We're going live. We're going live.
It's the same serial number. Okay.
It's the same. You imagine, what if it's the same PSA registry number? Now we had 2 card coincidences in a row. 3, I'm thinking Friday the 13th situation.
Yeah. You have stuff to show me.
I got a couple. So our boy Prolific Sports Cards. We mentioned him in the past couple episodes.
Did you show me this last time?
Well, I showed it to you on the phone, but I got it now in person.
Chauncey. Okay, yeah, got it.
So I just want to show, because I'm pretty excited, the Walt Clyde Frazier and Chauncey Billups dual auto, both on the Knicks. Gold standard, numbered out of 25 for the Knicks auto PC. And then I wanted to get your reaction to pairing up 2 of the great Knicks rookies from 05-06, just missing the Nate Robinson gold. Now, these are both gold, numbered out of 25. Or, I'm sorry, numbered out of 99. I got confused with the tie-dye. So the gold out of 99, rookies from the Knicks, Channing Frye and David Lee with the poster on Sagana Diop and his rookie card.
So those are both rookies that year.
Both rookies, both gold, Topps Chrome, numbered out of 99. The David Lee is a true gem mint BGS 9.5, and the Channing Frye is a BGS 9. But, if the Nate Robinson's PSA, I don't think it bothers me too much. Although it would be cool to have all 3 BGS, I guess, in the cases.
Wow, so the Knicks had all 3 of those rookies that year. Is that what?
I didn't know that until I
saw the Channing. Right now. I'm very curious.
I didn't remember that. I mean, they're all 3 rookie cards from 05-06 with that Chris Paul draft class. While you look that up, I want to make a quick correction for last week. I really pride myself on my hoops, so I felt silly when I listened to this back, and I wanted to just correct it. We were talking about a Juwan Howard card last week, and I mentioned his time at Michigan, with all those freshmen and making the deep run in the NCAA tournament, and I called them the Fab Four. But obviously they're the Fab Five. So I felt like
You know what? I
poorly
remember
understood.
now that I hear it back.
Yeah, yeah. So, Juwan Howard, Chris Webber, Jalen Rose, and the other two guys added up to the Fab Five. So, being a hoops guy, I wanted to get that out there, in case.
Okay. That's very like on brand with you being a broadcaster. You want to get your facts right. And
That's
so
right, bro.
that is really cool. I didn't know that. So Nate Robinson was drafted by the Suns, but he was traded to New York. And David Lee was drafted by the Knicks from Phoenix via San Antonio. And Channing Frye was just straight up drafted by the Knicks at 8th. And I know last time I told you I once owned the Nate Robinson. I was wrong. I owned the Jamal Crawford.
Ah, okay.
Also a very cool card that I wish I still had.
Yeah, Jamal Crawford, big time hooper.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's those two. And
love those.
Pretty cool to go with the gold out of 99. So anybody has that Nate Robinson Topps Chrome gold rookie, let me know, because I'm definitely interested in completing that trifecta. Also on David Lee, I used to go to David Lee basketball camps growing up.
Cool. Nice.
And very nice guy. He would play horse, play with the kids. And then by the time a couple days into the camp, I was one of the better players at the time. It wasn't like super competitive camp. It was, meet the athlete, hang out, and that kind of camp. But now I was a decent player, though. Don't get me wrong. But
I believe it.
David Lee, by the time he would be like, "Oh, hey, Carmine, what's going on?" All excited, calling the kids by name and stuff like that. When David Lee recognized me and greeted me into the camp, one day I was like, good for this guy, making an effort, making an effort. I respected that.
Can there be, there's nothing better than you and I collecting Knicks cards, you telling stories about former Knicks. As the Knicks are on a 3 or 4 game win streak, they crushed the Hornets tonight. And are you ready for that mail day? Because I'm going to segment this into another Knicks card, unless your mail day is too, and then we'll save the mail day.
My mail day is not a Knicks card, but I do have a card to reveal on the pod here tonight.
So while we're on the topic of the Knicks, can I show you a New York Knicks card that popped up today? And
anytime.
Listen, it's not very often we really see a card and you're like, I need that. That's the one. That's the one right there.
That's the one. Okay.
I'm so serious.
Okay.
So I think personally, even after a year, Jalen Brunson is shooting up the ladder as one of my favorite Knicks players ever.
He's awesome.
And I just feel like he's going to be there for the next decade. Good leader. Love his demeanor. I love that. He's a winner. He won national championships in college.
Yep. And he plays hard every single night.
He leads the league in charges taken. Took. I don't know the grammar of that.
Taken. No, you're right.
Okay. Cool. So I love game worn patch cards, as you know.
Yep.
And
3 colors only. You don't settle for the 2 colors with the Knicks.
Yeah, I can't do it. I love Brunson. He doesn't have a lot of Knicks cards yet, but 2022-23 National Treasures just came out. And typically, I don't really care because I don't do breaks. I don't do the new rookie RPAs. But this card came across my feed, and I was like, I gasped.
Okay.
All right. I'm just going to show it. Ready?
Yeah.
Look at this.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
So,
1 of 1. Wow. Tell me that's game worn. It's game worn.
It's game worn.
Oh my gosh. You dirty dog. Dog.
I mean, it was from a breaker and someone pulled it. So I'm going to do a little effort to try to acquire it. So if anyone knows anyone at Platinum Card Breaks trying to get this card, it's a 2022-23 National Treasures Jalen Brunson Timeline Materials 101 game worn patch. But the patch are the 3 words, once a Knick. From the slogan, once a Knick, always a Knick. So yeah, I need this. I have not said that about a card. I don't know if ever. This would just be the centerpiece of everything that I love to collect would be this card right here.
That is sick, bro.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? So you reached out to the breaker?
So I commented on the picture. Wow, is this available? And they at least got back to me, pulled for a customer. So I said, are you able to connect me with the customer? I'm not sure how the protocol works on that, but I'm interested in the card. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Are you allowed to, I don't know, someone tell me, if you're a breaker of a product, are you allowed to connect someone who pulled the card with?
Should be. There's no, it's not like
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know there's a level of security, I guess, but he knows that you're interested in the card and you're going to, shoot, that's a service to his client.
Plus, I'm a teacher.
Yeah, but if you set somebody up with a purchase
No,
and then your guy
no,
makes a profit, if he's any
no.
other fan other than a Knicks fan, most likely he's not going to be very crazy. I mean, he's going to think it's a cool card. Jalen Brunson 1 of 1 with that sick patch, but he's not going to be tied to it. So if you give him a decent offer, I think it's the breaker's obligation to set up his client with a referral.
So I'm gonna try to be persistent on this one and at least trying to make a play for it.
Let me ask you what you think a decent price is for that one.
I'm feeling like the ask will be somewhere 500 to 1,000.
I was gonna say 500.
And I have the assets to do it.
Without looking up anything. I mean, if I was going after it, have you done any
I
research on it yet? Have you done
Zero.
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 Okay.
So yeah, I really hope to be able to make a play for that very badly.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome. And would you start with trying to trade, or how would you go about it?
One step at a time, Carmine.
Oh, okay.
Let's not jump the gun here. Let me get in touch with the person who got it, and then we'll work from there.
Okay. Get past the first line of security.
Exactly.
No,
One day
right.
at a time.
You don't want to get your hopes up too high. That's a good point. But let me know. I'm interested, and of course, we'll talk about it on the podcast with that process, because with a rare card like that, it'd be interesting to see what that would go for. But speaking of game used patches, you saw this one that I got. Actually, you sent this to me as a referral, and so did cousin Tony.
Yes.
And
Okay. Yeah.
so did somebody else. So it was actually Cards by Joe, our buddy. So 3 people sent me this card before I got it from another buddy, Koopy Cards, Jeremy, formerly Skull Cards. So he's a big Philly guy, went to Temple, good guy in the hobby. And I got this game used JJ Redick triple patch. It's from Dominion, which I'm not crazy about, but it's numbered out of 10.
Dominion's a cool set.
Yeah, it is cool. It's kind of like it reminds me of like Noir's like little brother, like not as cool as Noir to me.
Noir's no, it is a high end though, and I don't think they made very many years of it. It's a high end set.
Yeah. And I could tell by the patches. So it has 2 pieces of the star of his Philadelphia 76ers jersey, and then 1 piece of like the arm area on the tank top jersey part. But look at those patches though with the 2 stars. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, from the Sixers uniforms. And I like JJ on the Sixers.
Yeah, he was good on the Sixers, and he got paid. He got paid on the Sixers. I think he got 2 years. I think he was like $22 million a year, something like that, or right around $20 million a year for a couple. I remember years. That. So enough to fund his podcast. Just like we know.
Obviously, yeah. JJ and us, we're one and the same. I'll text him. I'll text him later.
Yes. Yep, you know him.
Because I can, actually.
You actually could.
I could try JJ right now. Humble brag. Yeah, that's right on brand for you. JJ game use patch. That was perfect. I like that. A bunch of people sent it to you. It came from Koopy. All good. Just a good positive transaction. Aren't we just thankful for those smooth, easy deals where some of what? Oh, the JJ.
We are thankful. That was well said. And I got my JJ Redick PC. Just grabbed a few, actually most of my JJ Redick PC. If you're watching, this would be a good YouTube episode. If
we've showed a lot of cards.
Yeah, anybody watching on or listening on podcast wants to tune in. Yeah, thanks cards.
Thanks cards.
So,
I went to the LCS yesterday. Real quick, I had that Jackie Robinson penny card.
Yes,
so I got 2 more.
With what is this? What is this year? Are you becoming penny wise? Is that why you're making these smart decisions?
Pennywise and Babe Ruth. I don't know. These are cool. I'm paying like $12 a piece. They're just fun.
That is fun. So it's 2 Jackies and 1 Babe Ruth.
Yes, and
dude, that's iconic right there.
Yeah. So he had the Babe and the Jackie yesterday priced at $15 a piece, and I was at Alex's MVP, and Fred, one of the guy that works there, he's like, "Here, give me $25.02 for the pennies." I got to chuckle at that. I got to chuckle.
That's good. That's good. I mean, that offer makes sense. So I'm glad he No, that's great though. So
Yeah.
what year? Let me ask you real quick because I know the original Jackie penny card was the penny was from 1945. What are the 2 years on the pennies of the other one?
The other Jackie is from 47 and the other Babe is from 48.
All right, 47. My
Oh,
year my dad was born, 1947.
there you go. Good stuff. So yeah, that's all my card action for the week. So if you're
Okay.
listening to this Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, I don't know. Maybe we got a little off topic, but I think the stories speak for themselves that we're thankful for the stories, the interactions, the types of cards, this friendship, the listeners. This is all fun. This is good stuff.
What a freaking
Trade
cliff
nights.
notes. What a cliff notes summation right there of our episode. That was on point right there.
Thankful
So
for trade nights, good
yes,
pizza, in-person deals. Good vibes.
and I had a quick mail day to share before we sign off here, Craig.
Oh,
And I'm not sure. I talked about this one actually before. It's from our buddy Mikey's Cards. I'm opening it right now. Great seller in the hobby. And this is a good looking card, bro. It's Larry Bird, like I alluded to at the start of our episode. And it's a very clean card. It's the Larry Bird award-winning set. Award-winning autographs from Prism. On-card auto.
Prism.
Yeah, on-card auto. I think it's an insert autograph set, I think is what it is technically like categorized as. But award-winning autographs, Larry Bird, 1986 Finals MVP. From the year 2021 is when this card came out. But isn't this a clean set? I've seen a lot of other ones, but they're not numbered. They have like the silver hollow look to them, but they're not very common.
I've never seen that.
Yeah.
I like the signature looks bold on the hollow foil. That's good stuff.
Yep, and only 150.
Nice.
For this.
That's
Not
really
bad.
nice.
So we mentioned, reading the back of the card. Let's see. I haven't read this one because you asked me last week, if I had read. So it says Boston was feeling the Rockets' heat during the 1986 NBA Finals. After hammering Houston in the first 2 games, the Celtics dropped 2 of the next 3 to put their title hopes on hold. Dramatic. Then Bird sailed by, dropping a triple-double on his visitors in Game 6 before taking off with the championship crown and Finals MVP in tow.
Nice. Read the back of your cards.
Yes, well written, by the way. Stylish, fun, and factually accurate.
Nice. Really nice card. Fits you. You're wearing the shirt. It's perfect. You got a Larry card. You got a JJ card. Your type of collection.
Yep, and Channing Frye and Walt and Chauncey and Brian Dawkins.
Yeah, Giannis. This is and a $2 bill. Real quick before we wrap up, there were definitely times where I was worried if Card Club was going to continue, but the last couple of weeks has been pretty great. I've had 8 to 10 kids show up. Both times we were there for over an hour, and I think I got a really nice group that I've bought in, and they're going to start hopefully planning some field trips and keeping the kids engaged in the hobby. And the way we do it is so innocent. We're just like hanging out. I gave them the scavenger hunt to do, which was so much fun. I know you saw that.
Yes, that was good. We can talk about that on another episode. That was a cool idea.
And I think what I'm smart about doing is I'm getting my students into cards in such a way that there really is minimal discussion about monetary value.
That's a great way to approach it.
That will come in the future, but for now, they're just having fun being around it. So far, so good. Hope to keep Card Club going strong.
Yeah, I think you can always develop the financial appreciation and the love of making a profit, but you have to have the love of the cards first, because there's way easier ways to make money, especially, in a hobby form, it's cool as a little side hustle type of deal, but if you don't have the love of the cards as the foundation, I think it's gonna be tough to continue, buying and selling and then you can build a PC and all those great things.
Yeah, so that's got some good ideas in the pipeline. But that's it. That's all I got for today. Have a great Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yeah. And you too, bro, because that was an action-packed episode. Thankful for that. 45 minutes, like you said, to escape, relax, talk cards, connect with people.
Bang.
Thankful.
Thanks, Cards.
Thanks, Cards. So before we finish our episode, we wanted to address a little bit of an elephant in the room. Our buddy and fellow Wolfpack member, Rob, the sports card therapist, those of you staying up on hobby news might know about this, got caught winning a couple Eli Manning gold cards and then not paying for the victory in the auction. And really been getting hit from all angles in the hobby as far as, people making videos, commentary. I mean, of course, what he did was wrong. And Craig, you and I both talked to him about it. But, we're friends with Rob outside of the hobby too. We consider him actual buddies. And, we don't condone what he did by any means. And we don't participate in that kind of, not paying for auctions. But we still, want to be there for him as a person. And, I called him on the phone right after he put out the apology video on his Instagram and, just said, hey, listen, I'm here to talk and I'm here for you. And, I know what you did was wrong. And of course he knows that as well. He put in a mega bid on those 2 Eli Manning cards, never expected him to get that high. And then, was shocked at the price, no excuse for not paying for an auction. But that was his reasoning, and he's real upset about it. He's wiped out all his YouTube, podcast, Instagram, just like non-existent, off the hobby map right now. So we just wanted to address that because, of course, people know that we're also members of the Wolfpack, which we're not using that name anymore because it's got a bit of a sour taste in our mouths on that. But Craig, what else did you want to add to this? I know, we don't want to spend too much time on it because we're pretty positive about the hobby, but one of our close buddies had a big mistake here. So we wanted to address it and say that, we're not for those mistakes. We realized that was wrong. We have nothing to do with that part of what Rob did, but what else did you want to add to it?
I mean, 62 episodes in, we've never talked about hobby drama. We've always kept it about the cards. Obviously, different circumstances. We've referenced Rob's name enough times on here and vice versa that, it'd be kind of cowardice for us to not say anything at all. So yeah, of course, pretty disappointed that a good friend of ours did that. It doesn't reflect the behavior of you or I or the other Wolfpack members. And it's sad to see, I hate to say it, but Rob's demise in the hobby. However you feel about one mistake, that's just the landscape of this hobby world that we're in, that when someone screws up, they get crucified for it. And that's what Rob's going through right now. And sucks for him. It's, it's very disappointing. Like I said, as his friend, I just hope he's doing well. Really, that just as a friend, what he did was not right. And listen, maybe subconsciously, this is why I don't buy cards on eBay.
Yeah.
I bought 2 cards on eBay over the last year. And sometimes you get a little overzealous, whatever happened, the mega bid that he placed didn't follow through on paying, it sucks, right? Because try to maintain integrity in this hobby. And I feel for him. It sucks to see him just getting absolutely piled on, but we want to touch upon it. Just say it's one, we obviously are going to address it, but it doesn't reflect our behavior. I'm seeing the term Wolfpack being thrown out there between comments and other videos. So obviously by association, I think it's important for us to at least address this. And yeah, I mean, there's only so much more we could talk about it.
Yeah, and our buddies, cousin Tony and Oz, really, I thought, addressed it very well on their podcast. And Ken, Sports Card Lessons, also talked about it briefly on his. And, there's a great lesson to be learned here. Speaking of Sports Card Lessons, to come out of this, and it's don't put in that mega bid if you're not ready to pay for it. Unfortunately, I mean, you put in a $2,000 max bid and it sells for $1,800 on one of the Eli's, and once that sticker shock comes about, it's a much different story when you actually have to put out the money. And and Rob knows that. I mean, he's talked about it, and but it's always different when you're actually in it. And he knows he made a mistake. He's devastated by it. And I just hope that he can come back to the hobby eventually after learning this lesson. Because he's one of the strongest voices in the hobby. And I don't know what that's like for somebody to get all this criticism. I mean, a lot of it rightfully so. He made a big mistake and a hobby, big no-no in the hobby of not following through and paying for an auction that you won. But at the same time, it's not the worst thing you could possibly do in the hobby or, in life. I mean, so hopefully there's a lot of forgiveness. And Rob has talked about on his podcast, Sports Card Therapist, that he loves to offer second, third, fourth chances. So like I said, he's laying low right now, and we both talked to him and, are there for him as friends. And he's definitely learning a lesson right now. So it's just disappointing, unfortunate, but, it doesn't change that he's our brother and we, still be there for him. But he's definitely going through it right now and learning a lesson of a hobby no-no the hard way.
Yeah. And like I said, forgive someone for something they did. And a lot of the hobby just doesn't feel that way. There's a cancel culture that sucks, but that's the reality of the situation. And as much as I hate to say it, we feel for him, but as far as this podcast, doesn't change anything. Right. It is, it's business as usual for us. Going to keep buying, selling, trading cards, recording with you once a week, and just hope he's doing all right.
Yeah. And like you said, just wanted to address it, say we're not affiliated with any of that type of behavior. Unfortunate that it happened. And just go forward and do what we do and record Crosstown Cardboard, keep it positive. But just address this situation, get it out of the way. Like the cousin said, really well on their podcast. It's not going to be Rob updates if new stuff comes out. At the time of recording, it's Sunday, or actually it's Monday night that we're adding on here, about 8:00. So, there's rumors of shill bidding and stuff like that. But as far as we know, Rob just placed a bid. It went higher than what he thought. Didn't pay it on 2 occasions on Eli Manning cards. And, we're not going to talk about any potential rumors because we don't know anything else. That's just our buddy, and he made a mistake. He owned up to it. He's laying low and nothing more to do with us. And we're just going to keep it rolling as planned.
That's it, right? I mean, to my understanding, that's what happened. He got a little overzealous, bid more on a card than he ultimately wanted to pay for it. How he handled it afterwards, that's up to each and everyone to judge if he did it the right way. But bottom line is, deleted all of his videos, content, put out that 9-minute Instagram reaction, and that's how he chose to handle it. So that's that, right? We only want to talk about it for so much longer.
Yep. All right, bro. So
all right,
we talked about it, addressed it, and we're back to Crosstown Cardboard next week, episode 63. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.